Hey guys, welcome to Blizzard Day number 2. You've been emailed your assignment, so here's the YouTube video that I'm going to post later. Just remember, as we go through things, you need to turn these in. Otherwise, you'll be counted as absent the day you don't turn them in. And you'll also get zeros in the grade, which I know you guys all take care of your grades. First thing we're doing here is stoichiometry of gases. The equation that I'm going to give you here is HCl yields H2 plus Cl2. The given information that starts is 2.5 moles of HCl, and we're going to try to find out how many grams of H2 would be produced. Have a balanced equation here. First step you do is you write your given information down, 2.5 moles of HCl. Next thing I need to do is I write my mole of HCl to the bottom, and I write mole of what I'm trying to find on top. So I've got mole of H2 over mole of HCl. Then I look at the coefficients. The coefficient of H2 here is 1. The coefficient of HCl is 2. When it's mole over mole, we use the coefficients. I place those numbers appropriately. Next step, to find grams, what I do is I take my mole of H2, move it down to the bottom here, and then use the periodic table to find the amount of grams in H2. Now remember, it's H2 here, so we take the 2 atoms of H times 1.0 grams per mole, and I'm given 2 grams. Do my math here, 2.5 divided by 2 times 2, and my answer is 2.5 grams of H2. So that is called a mole to mass stoichiometry. If you had a mole to mole, you would just stop right here at this step here. Stop at the step right here. Okay, next type of example problem I'm going to give you is a mass to mass. Again, we're going to use the same equation. HCl yields H2 plus Cl2, and again the equation is balanced. I want to find out the amount of grams of H2 produced if I was started off with 2.5 grams of Cl2. So step 1, write my 2.5 grams of Cl2 right here. Gram of Cl2 then gets moved to the bottom. Now to relate different elements or compounds to one another, we need to have them in moles. So I'm going to take 1 mole over 71.0 grams of Cl2. Cl2, 71, comes from the fact that I take 35.5 times 2 for the molar mass of Cl2. And this will always be 1 mole. When it's mole over grams, it's always 1 mole. Next step is to determine my mole ratio. Again, mole of Cl2 comes to the bottom, mole of H2 is on top. The coefficients here are 1 and 1. So therefore I write 1 over 1. The next step, mole of H2 goes to the bottom. Again, I'm going to find the grams of H2 is what I'm trying to produce. So 2.0 grams of H2 is placed on top. So again, with it being grams over moles, the mole number is always 1. So to solve my problem, I take 2.5 divided by 71. I can omit this step because it's just times 1 divided by 1 times 2. So 2.5 divided by 71 times 2, and I get an answer of 0.070 grams of H2. Now notice my sig figs will always come from the number here that's given in the problem. The last type of problem is a stoichiometry of gases. Now I'm still going to use the same equation. HCl yields H2 plus Cl2, and the key here part is that this must be at what's called STP, which stands for standard temperature and pressure, 0 degrees Celsius and 1 atm. Standard temperature and pressure is typically very common during the winter, just not in the couple of days we've had recently. So again, to start the problem, I take my given information, write it down. 25 grams of HCl is given. So gram of HCl gets moved to the bottom. 1 mole of HCl on top, 36.5 grams of HCl on the bottom. 36.5 comes from the fact that Cl is 35.5 and H is 1.0. Now on your periodic tables you might find Cl to be 35.5 or 35.4. That is not a big deal and probably won't make any difference in your final answer. The next step is to take my mole of HCl, move it to the bottom, put mole of what I'm trying to find on top. Mole of H2 on the top, mole of HCl on the bottom. Then I look at my coefficients. 2 for the HCl. I don't know why that 2 is written twice. 2 for the HCl, 1 for the H2. So there's my mole ratio. Now, since it's a gas we're trying to find, we're going to try to find the liters, and it's at STP. We can use a number here called 22.4 liters, which is called the molar volume of a gas. That is the volume of any gas at STP. It's a little bit bigger than a basketball. It's a little bit bigger than a square box. If you want to Google the picture, you can find an image of molar volume of a gas and see what it is very easily on Google. Again, to solve the problem, I take my mole of H2, that goes to the bottom. Liter goes on top, so 22.4 liters of H2. And it doesn't matter the gas, as long as it's at STP, it'll be 22.4 liters over 1 mole. So again, to punch in the calculator, I take 25 divided by 36.5 divided by 2 times 22.4, and my final answer is 7.7 liters. Again, email me if you have any questions. We will spend time going over this. This is information problem type that you'll find from Chapter 10. All right. Have a good evening, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow at school.